Black Lives Matter crap is just getting ridiculous. Here in this video, I'm going to show you my local television station, how they did a cover story about a baking competition and how the baker won a competition by baking a Black Lives Matter themed cake. And this is just ridiculous.
Many business owners are having to think outside the box during this pandemic, and some bakers in Missouri City did just that by cooking up a competition.
That's right. The two women organized that contest for other bakers in the area, and the winner, well, her sweet creation had a lot of layers, so to speak, bringing attention to a national movement. Channel 2's Taisha Walker spoke with that winner, joins us live now from Missouri City tonight with more. Taisha?
Chris, and wait till you see that cake. It took her 3 days to put it together, and essentially this was her first time making such a cake. And you know, organizers tell me that this was a win-win. Some of the local bakers got exposure, and the Black Lives Matter movement also benefited as well. Cousins Niecy Shelton and Nikita Freeman are still on a sugar high from 2 weeks ago. The business owners and bakers organized their very first baking competition, titled Bakers of Mo City. Created after a baking competition they entered last June left them with a bad taste.
It could have been a good thing, should have been a good thing, but it wasn't. And instead of being mad or upset about what somebody else and how they did it, it's just like, okay, we can do this.
The goal was to help small local businesses like theirs get exposure.
We really wanted to push and help people out in the community so they can get their names out.
The competition took place earlier this month. Out of 17 cakes, this one, created by Tanique Guillory, left the judges speechless.
It touches home, and with everything that's going on, her cake was just amazing. It was on point.
Guillory isn't even a baker, which is why she says she almost dropped out of the competition. And she had her mind set on a different cake.
I was going to actually do a wine barrel. And my daughter looked at me and she said, "Mom, you lost your mind." She said, "This is not it. Black Lives Matter."
With small details like the names of black people that were killed by police, this cake, which is black and white on the inside, tells a story about pain, the global response, and the continuous movement needed.
When I pick up a spatula, it's more than just making a cake. It's actually me expressing everything. It's putting all that hurt and that pain into my craft.
And Guillory received $1,000 as well as a trophy. The Black Lives Matter movement here in Houston, that organization also received $1,000. And the bakers of Mo City tell me they are ready for round 2. They say that will start in the fall. They are currently looking for more bakers and sponsors. Reporting live in Missouri City, Taisha Walker, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Well, now I'm hungry for something sweet.
Thank you.
You heard that simp at the end of the video. Now I'm hungry for something sweet. Well, these sweets are giving me a toothache and left a bad taste in my mouth. As seen in my last video, I can't stand Black Lives Matter. I think they're a hypocritical, racist, socialist, domestic terrorist organization, and I hate seeing Black Lives Matter intertwined with my sports, especially my favorite sport of women's tennis. By the way, WTA has the gall to have Black Lives Matter plastered in the background of their tournament. WTA is an organization mainly comprised of white European women's tennis players, so white European women in tennis lives matter. And their white lives have been dominated by a black life for over 2 decades. Serena's been dominating the WTA and their white lives for 2 decades, and there's no outrage about this. White European women in tennis lives matter. Oh, Black Lives Matter is a joke. We already had enough of that SJW stuff with Serena. Just go out there and just play the game. Now that I got that out of the way, and what prompted me to make this video is my comment under the video kept getting deleted, and I read somewhere that YouTube is auto-deleting comments that has BLM or criticism of Black Lives Matter, which is YouTube's liberal platform attack on free speech. This video is disgusting and disturbing all at the same time. I tried to call attention to the hypocrisy. As you can see, most of the people in the video are black and overweight. Look at all these overweight black people, and they're all engaging in this cake baking competition with sugary foods. And what are black people in the black community dying from the most? It's not racist white cops, but diabetes, caused by the same type of food they're baking in this video. Diabetes is killing black people more in the black community than white cops killing black people. And I tried to point out the hypocrisy of if Black Lives mattered, then you would not eat certain foods that contributes to unhealthy eating habits that plague the black community with diseases like diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, and heart disease, and the #1 killer of black women. And black women in America are 80% obese, as seen throughout this whole video. All these illnesses and diseases are mainly caused by being overweight and by eating unhealthy foods like this Black Lives Matter theme cake. That's what I was trying to say in my comment, but of course that would get deleted. Diabetes is killing black people more than racist white cops, and shame on Channel 2 for promoting this type of hypocrisy. And if Black Lives Matter, you'll be eating healthier foods and not eating food that's causing you to be overweight and diabetic. And what else is sickening is greedy pharmaceutical companies and doctors get a pay profit for them same pharmaceutical companies that are making money off of you being sick, with doctors profiting prescribing medications for diseases like diabetes. Ugh, it was probably the same doctors that prescribed Medonium to Maria Sharapova.
Fairly ugly carpet.
And gave all those pills to Alexandra Sosnovich.
Pills, but it's not doping, I promise.
The type of hypocrisy displayed by Black Lives Matter reminds me when pro-black people say you can't be pro-black if you date non-black. Or if you're a black woman and wear hair weaving of hair from women from other races, it's because you're trying to emulate a Eurocentric form of beauty, and that's anti-black. But unhealthy eating that's killing black people remains a taboo subject, much like staggering black on black homicide rates, which Black Lives Matter choose to ignore. Now that's anti-black. Being hypocritical, that's what Black Lives Matter is all about, being a bunch of hypocrites, like trying to promote Black Lives Matter with a sugary cake that causes diabetes, that's rampant in the black community, and everyone involved with promoting Black Lives Matter with this cake, now that's disgusting. That's more disgusting than Paula Deen cooking the same unhealthy, greasy, artery-clogging, sugar-coated garbage that caused her own diabetes, and remained secretive about her type 2 diabetic diagnosis, and black people loved and worshipped her cooking. Well, we all know what happened to her. A cake baking competition is not the best place to express political alliance with Black Lives Matter, because we all know BLM ignores all the black on black crime, but yet they only want to focus on white cops. Now that's racist. And the amount of killing and brutality that's perpetuated by blacks against other blacks make me think that black people are more racist towards each other than any white cop is racist towards black people. In conclusion, black people need to focus on being healthy, stop eating unhealthy foods, and start exercising more. I know we're living in a stressful time, and you can release some of that stress by getting out of the home, walking around the neighborhood, breathing in some fresh air, so you're not sitting around the home making unhealthy eating choices like eating these cakes, because these cakes are killing black lives more than white police. Black lives should start mattering once black people start treating their black lives like they matter, and start eating healthy, and stop all this black on black crime and violence against one another. Black people should worry more about your health and all these preventable diseases that are out here killing you. You need to get your blood sugar in check, your hypertension in check. Stop eating so much salty and sodium-infused food that causes high blood pressure. Stop eating all the fast food to stop yourself from dying from heart disease. That's when black lives need to start mattering, with health. You only get one body for the rest of your life, so start treating it like it matters. This has been Counterpuncher, and I'm out!